We've talked a lot about the Attawapiskat Indian Reserve recently because their media hound of a chief, Teresa Spence, has been doing her version of an Occupy Wall Street sit-in at a park in Ottawa for about a month now. Spence calls it a hunger strike, but she eats fish soup and moose soup all day long, so as you can clearly see, she'll be able to continue this hunger strike well into her golden years. I haven't observed her personally, but just judging by her TV appearance, I think she might be the first person in the history of hunger strikes to actually gain weight. Now, I mentioned this not to poke fun at her fatness. That would be like the pot calling the kettle black. I mean, the closest I've ever come to a hunger strike myself is sleeping through breakfast that one terrible day. But rather, I mean it to address her honesty and the willingness of the media party in this country to play along with her little games and to substitute a childish gullibility in dealing with her where they would ordinarily have scorn and derision for a politician who wasn't Indian. That's what an Indian chief is, a politician. It's not a religious leader or a sacred elder. Indian chief is actually a legal term under the Indian Act for the elected politician in charge of the budget and political decisions in an Indian band. It's the Indian Act's equivalent of a mayor. And given that the average Indian band has just about 1,000 people on it, Chief Teresa Spence is a small town mayor, even though she's paid handsomely. And her boyfriend, Clayton Kennedy, who just happens to be the town's manager, gets paid even more, a whopping $850 a day. They're actually quite rich up in Attawapiskat. The band even has an $8.9 million stock portfolio. Forget Occupy Wall Street. With their salaries and stocks in Google and Apple, they are just plain old Wall Street. But yesterday's audit prepared by Deloitte says they've got a fair bit of Enron in them too. 81% of the 505 financial transactions that the auditors reviewed failed to have any documentation, no contracts, no invoices, no proof of work done. In many cases, the reason for spending was just listed as miscellaneous or other. It's a scam up there, and it's not occasional or accidental. It's rampant. When that happens in the rest of Canada, it's called corruption. It's why the mayor of Montreal had to resign, why the mayor of London, Ontario is facing criminal charges. Frankly, it's why Bev Oda, the former federal minister, resigned. She indulged in a $16 bottle of orange juice at taxpayers' expense. $16. But Chief Spence and the rest of her council up in Attawapiskat and their predecessors have burned through $100 million in the past 6 years. Until yesterday, it was just me hollering into the wind about this, but the Deloitte audit confirmed everything I said and added hundreds of more examples. So what was the reaction of the political class to this new ad scam, this new Enron? When Bev Oda drank that $16 orange juice, it was luxurious, but it didn't actually come out of the groceries of hungry kids. But the high-rolling lifestyle lived by Chief Spence and her family and friends comes exactly out of the lives of the poor people on the reserve. That's the place where all the leaky homes are, right? The place with the holes in the roof. As I showed you yesterday, at the height of the housing crisis, Chief Spence issued a $303,000 consulting contract, not a contract to fix some roofs, but a consultant to someone in the Indian industry getting rich off the misery up there, just like she is. So what was the public reaction? Well, even Enron had its defenders. First out of the gates, most surprisingly, was the Finance Minister of Ontario, Dwight Duncan, which is weird. This isn't his turf. It was a federal audit. Indian bands are federal jurisdiction. It was federal money, mainly. But Dwight Duncan felt the need to unburden himself on Twitter, saying, and take a look at his Twitter tweet, "Tough love, the rallying cry of the cowards who leak these, quote, audits. Too much tough, not enough love for our Aboriginal brothers and sisters." Now, how exactly is an audit tough love? Isn't an audit what we do to check up on cheaters, whether in companies like Enron or even more importantly in government? I mean, if Enron was cheating, the only people who were hurt there were wealthy people who took the risk of investing in Enron. But if an Indian band cheats, the people who lose, well, they're everyone, especially the poor in the leaky homes. Aren't audits what we do to keep watch on the powerful people, the ones driving the fancy vehicles and earning $850 a day? But look at how Duncan puts the word audits in scare quotes there. Does he dispute that the audit by Deloitte was legitimate? Does he think it was fake or corrupt? What exactly is he saying? And why is he saying all of this to begin with? It's too easy to say that Dwight Duncan doesn't much like audits and accountability himself. I mean, he has by far Canada's largest budget deficit, and he's the man who cuts the checks to provincial spending fiascos like the power plant shutdown in Toronto or the Orange helicopters black hole. So, yeah, I get that Dwight Duncan doesn't much believe in accounting and thinks it's really, really mean. But it's not mean. Math isn't racist. Audits aren't racist. What's racist is saying poor Aboriginal people on reserves don't get to have their public money protected the same way the rest of us do. Well, who else weighed in on this matter here? Here's Carolyn Bennett, a Liberal member of Parliament.
There's no money mismanaged. There's no money missing. This is a straightforward audit, a very quick audit. Apparently only 10 days, not any time for them to go and get the missing things from a warehouse or anything like that.
There's no money missing? Actually, there is. $34 million was spent up there just last year by the band, and another $51 million spent at the same time by the local diamond mine. That's $85 million in a town of just 1,500 people, just 300 homes. That's $280,000 per family per year. And yet some of them are living in leaky shacks. No money missing? We know it's missing because we saw the audit. $4,300 was spent on a breakfast. Millions to contracts to political insiders. Many millions on property deals, real estate, but not even telling us which city these luxurious purchases were made in. We know the band is internationally savvy. They have millions of dollars in shares in foreign companies, including China Mobile, China National Offshore Oil. They're high rollers. Are those millions in secret property deals in places like Florida or Arizona? Who knows? But no worries. Carolyn Bennett of the party that brought us ad scam tells us not to worry. And here's NDP Member of Parliament Paul Dewar.
I have to think that this is more game playing by the Conservatives.
Listen, accounting isn't just racist, according to the NDP. It's now partisan, apparently. Those accountants. Yeah, no. It's not partisan when you ask basic questions like the auditors in Attawapiskat have done, like, can we please see the job descriptions of the people running the band? Can we please see the minutes of the band council meetings? Can we please see contracts or invoices? And they're told no in 81% of the cases. I'm sorry, that's not racist. That's not partisan. Who is partisan, though, is Spence. She's already had a steady stream of partisans meet with her, from Justin Trudeau to Paul Martin, anyone who hates Stephen Harper, really. She's refused to meet with Conservatives, though, including Aboriginal leaders like Senator Patrick Brazeau, or the Indian Affairs Minister, or Inuit Cabinet Minister Leona Agluka. You'd think she would meet with them if Spence was nonpartisan, but she's hyper-partisan. All the better to enlist the help of the media party and to keep them away from asking tough questions to her about corruption. The same way Spence refuses to meet with Conservatives, she also refuses to talk with reporters who actually want to ask her tough questions. One of Spence's entourage is now asking reporters, seriously, this is a quote now, "Are you friend or foe?" before letting reporters in. Here's footage from our own Christy Kirkup trying to get into Spence's Occupy Ottawa teepee.
Hey, are you guys taking media at all today, or?
No.
You're not taking media at all today?
No.
Is the spokesperson able to come out to talk? Sorry, I'm coming to be respectful, but I don't think it's very respectful to just turn your back.
Have a good day.
Is there a chance that we could come back?
That's how they treat the Sun. The CBC, of course, they throw open wide the doors. Now, Spence can't take scrutiny, not real scrutiny. I wonder if she'll be let off the hook by the media party after her meeting this Friday with Stephen Harper. I wonder if she'll actually go to that meeting, and if so, if Harper will ask her where all the money went. My guess is that he won't ask her that. But what will Spence ask Stephen Harper for? I mean, she's been pretty vague about what she wants or not. I mean, I don't really think she knows what she wants, and she really can't ask for more money. Actually, scratch that. Of course she can, and she has. So what does she really want? I mean, it's tough to say. She's a fake hunger striker, a fake financial manager, and she fakes poverty, even though she lives like a millionaire, at least compared to others in Attawapiskat. I've got a theory about what she really wants. and the rest of the Idle No More movement too. I'll tell you my theory and give you my proof after the break.